back every year. This would be the year if I was going to do that. You take them later on, right?
Yes.
Like there's a couple guys in this class that I think are going to be really good complementary backs, and that none of your league mates are going to know about, you know, like whatever, that are going to be there later on that you can just get for free at the end of your drafts. One of the kids that I seen at the Senior Bowl that I really like, I liked him heading in, and he had a really good week as well, is Kimani Vidal from Troy. Ooh. Kid reminds me so much of Jaylen Warren coming out of Oklahoma State. He just came out, what was it, 3 years ago, whatever. It's like looking in a friggin' mirror. They're the exact same dimensions of 5'8", 220. Shit. And they move about the same in terms of the agility, and their profiles the goddamn same too. The last year, Jaylen Warren at Oklahoma State, he finished number 2 in the FBS in forced missed tackles. You want to guess where Kimani Vidal finished this year in forced missed tackles in the FBS? He was number fucking 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the same sort of a deal. Vidal, I don't think he gets enough. I interviewed him down there, and I was like, you know, what's one thing about your game that's underrated, or, you know, like people overlook, whatever. And I agreed with his answer. He said receiving. He's like, my offense just didn't use me as a receiver. All 4 years that he was there, he either had 20 receptions or 200 receiving yards, but he barely got over the threshold each season. Because what he was saying was exactly right. They used him as the bell cow back, so he would get a shit ton of touches as the runner. But like, you know, as the receiver, it was always just the tertiary thing where, it was always like the third, fourth, fifth option on any given play. So when he would get the ball, it'd be because the quarterback was like dead to rights and scrambling around. Okay, come on, you take it, and then. He's not like out there allowed to run the route, show his stuff with like that. And then once he got the ball, you don't have time to run around or like, you know, do stuff like that. He was just put into bad situations, whatnot.
Yeah.
So this week we wanted to see, you know, can you do that stuff? His movement is really good on film as a runner. It's the reason why he broke all them tackles, because he got the bowling ball thing where it's low to the ground. He has really good burst, and then he changes your angle. Like right before, it's the same thing that Warren does, where like right before you're about to hit him, he just changes your angle, like right leading up to the contact point. And then instead of being able to hit him flush like you think you're going to when you leave your feet, now it's an off angle attempt, or it's an arm tackle attempt. Well, he just runs through that, right? Because his balance is awesome. I mean, he's barely off the ground. He's literally a
low center of gravity, obviously. Yes,
and his power is much better than you think. Like he's a muscled up kid, you know, 5'8" and 220, whatever. So I really like Kimani Vidal. I think he profiles as a Jaylen Warren type back who's going to be a really, really good complementary back in the NFL, like either an awesome RB2 or a low level, even RB1 potentially, depending on where he goes. He's going to go lower on in the draft because he's not going to, it's going to be the same thing as Warren. He doesn't look like a ton. He's not going to test tremendously well. I do think he ends up getting drafted, unlike Warren absolutely should have been drafted by, you know, all accounts. But, Vidal, I do think gets drafted, but I think he has a career that's very similar.
So on January 12th, I had said that Kimani Vidal was one of 2 guys that was popping off the page for me when I was looking at late round undrafted running backs. And
let's go.
I love it. So you basically just are filling in the blanks for me.
Did we just become best friends, Jax?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Love it.
Dude,
we're driving this bandwagon all the way to late April, baby.
Dude, he's so good and have no speed. He's going to run like he's going to be like 4.65 or something. I don't know. He's not fast, but he's very, very strong through the hole. Like he's very decisive. He's got great movement, and he's a powerful runner. And as you point out, he's 215 at 5'7", 5'8". Like that is a spark plug. He's got all the ass legs. You know, I talk about ass legs for a running back. You know, you want that weight in that like lower area. You don't want a guy who's rocked up top, Rashard Mendenhall or whatever. I don't know, I'm making it up. But, you know, you want the guy with the ass legs who can push forward so that when there's contact, it's almost impossible to tackle them because you're just bouncing off where the mass is. And he's got mass in the ass, baby. And I love it.